Imagine a quiet road, a frightened little boy, and a whisper so soft it almost faded into the wind. They took my sister. Now imagine what happened next. Dozens of engines roared to life, leather jackets turned into shields, and strangers transformed into heroes. The entire chain of events begins with a moment so small, so fragile, that it almost gets lost in the noise of the world. A little boy, standing alone by the roadside, whispering the words that would change everything. They took my sister. His voice is barely audible, trembling with fear, his eyes wide and filled with a desperation no child should ever carry. His small hands shake, clutching the torn sleeve of his shirt as if holding on to the last bit of courage he has left. In that instant, time slows. The world around him seems to blur, and all that remains is the sharp, heart-piercing truth hidden in his whisper. This key moment matters because it serves as the ignition point, the spark that lights a fire in the hearts of the bikers who hear him. They weren't expecting to be heroes that day. They weren't looking for trouble or adventure. They were simply passing through, but sometimes fate puts the right people in the right place at exactly the right moment. And when the boy speaks, his vulnerability strips away every stereotype the world may have painted about bikers. The tough exteriors, the roaring engines, the leather jackets, all of it becomes secondary to the raw humanity of that moment. The boy's whisper is not just a cry for help, it is a call to action. It is the kind of plea that breaks barriers and activates instinct. It demands attention, responsibility, and immediate response. The bikers don't question him, they don't doubt him, they don't tell him to wait for someone else. They listen, and in that listening, they commit themselves to something bigger than their ride. That whisper becomes the heartbeat of everything that follows, a signal that innocence is in danger and that silence is not an option. What makes this moment truly remarkable is not just the boy's whisper, but the reaction it triggers. The bikers do not hesitate, not for a second. There is no pause, no confusion, no discussion about whether they should get involved. The moment those words fall from the boy's lips, the bikers transition instantly from riders enjoying the open road to protectors on a mission. Their instincts take over. These men, often judged by their rough appearance, show a kind of decisive courage that many trained responders strive for. The power of this moment lies in the speed and unity of their response. Helmets snap on, boots hit the gravel, engines roar to life. Each biker moves with purpose, not because anyone ordered it, but because they all feel the same surge of responsibility. Their actions reflect an unspoken code, a belief that when an innocent child is in danger, every capable person must step up. There is no room for delay, no time for fear. They act because doing nothing is unthinkable. Their immediate response also reveals a deep sense of loyalty and brotherhood. Bikers are known for their strong community bonds, and in this moment, that unity becomes a force for good. They do not move as individuals but as a single coordinated unit. Every rider understands that every second counts, and every decision they make could be the difference between rescue and tragedy. This instinctive reaction speaks volumes about who they really are. Society may see them as loud, intimidating, or rebellious, but beneath that exterior lies a fiery courage and a protective spirit. They respond without hesitation because they know that a child's cry is not something to analyze. It is something to answer. Their readiness to act becomes the first step in a mission fueled by bravery, compassion, and unstoppable determination. Once the bikers make the decision to help, their response becomes incredibly organized, almost like a trained rescue team. What surprises most people in this situation is how quickly they shift from shock to strategy. These aren't amateurs guessing what to do. These are individuals who understand the importance of coordination, communication, and speed. Within moments, they divide responsibilities naturally and efficiently, proving that true leadership often emerges from instinct, not rank. One biker kneels beside the boy to gather every detail: what the men looked like, which direction they went, what kind of vehicle they were driving. Another biker pulls out a phone to alert nearby riders and spread the word across their network. Others map out the roads, identifying potential escape routes and places where the kidnappers might hide. Every action is precise, purposeful, and executed without panic. Their motorcycles become tools of search and rescue. Bikers pair up, spreading out in different directions to cover as much ground as possible. Some take the highways, using high speed to catch up quickly. Others head toward back roads, forests, and abandoned paths, areas where criminals often try to disappear. Radios crackle with updates. Engines roar across different terrains. Eyes scan every corner, every sign, every possibility. What makes this coordination so powerful is the sense of urgency behind it. They understand that in situations involving a missing child, every minute matters. Their fast action isn't reckless, it's efficient. They don't waste time, but they also don't make careless decisions. They move like a team that has done this before, even though they haven't. This level of organization reflects their deep trust in one another. Each biker knows the others will cover their part, making their search stronger than any individual effort. It is this unity, speed, and strategic thinking that transforms a group of riders into a force capable of tracking down danger. As the bikers push forward with their urgent search, one of the most important elements of their mission becomes clear. They are not trying to take the law into their own hands. Instead of acting recklessly or rushing into danger, they make a crucial decision that elevates their efforts. They involve the police immediately and respectfully. This step shows not only courage but also wisdom. They understand that saving the child safely requires the combined strengths of both their speed and the authorities' legal power. The moment one biker gathers enough solid information from the boy descriptions, direction, and possible locations, another biker is already on the phone with law enforcement. They provide the police with precise details, the number of suspects, type of vehicle, and approximate area. This cooperation demonstrates maturity and responsibility. They know that while they can search fast, the police can respond with authority, backup, and the ability to make arrests correctly and safely. But what makes this cooperation exceptional is how seamlessly it works. The bikers don't push the police aside or try to act like vigilantes. Instead, they offer their manpower, their eyes on the road, and their ability to reach places quickly. The police, in turn, respect the bikers' efforts and use their information strategically. Officers begin coordinating with them, sending patrol cars toward the paths the bikers have already identified. This partnership forms a powerful rescue network. While the bikers scout difficult terrain and cover miles quickly, the police set up roadblocks, alert nearby departments, and prepare tactical units. The combination of speed and legal authority creates a synchronized effort that increases the chances of finding the girl safely. The bikers' choice to cooperate rather than act alone highlights their intelligence, discipline, and genuine desire to protect, not just fight. Their teamwork with the police becomes a key turning point in the mission's success. As the coordinated search intensifies, the bikers and police begin to close in on the possible locations one by one. The bikers' speed and reach help narrow the search dramatically. It's a combination of instinct and experience. They know the backroads, the hidden trails, the abandoned structures that most people never notice. While the police run official checks and monitor communication channels, the bikers scan every inch of terrain with unbroken determination. Their efforts eventually lead to a critical moment. A lone biker spots a suspicious cabin tucked deep in the woods, far from any main road. He doesn't rush in blindly. Instead, he signals the others and quietly observes from a distance, noticing signs of fresh tire tracks and hearing faint noises from inside. His quick judgment prompts him to call both the biker crew and the police simultaneously. Within minutes, the area becomes surrounded, not chaotically, but strategically. The bikers form a perimeter to ensure no one escapes, while the police prepare for a controlled entry. The rescue itself is calm, coordinated, and focused on safety. Police move in with precision, ensuring no harm comes to the girl or themselves. The bikers stand guard outside, ready to block any attempted escape or call out any danger. When officers finally emerge with the young girl, frightened but unharmed, the entire atmosphere changes. A moment of pure relief washes over everyone. The girl's eyes widen as she sees a line of bikers standing like protective giants around her, engines quiet, faces soft with concern. The bikers step back respectfully, letting the police handle the official procedures. Their goal was never recognition, it was protection. The safe rescue becomes the direct result of their persistence, bravery, and refusal to look away when a child needed help. What makes this story so unforgettable is not just the rescue itself, but the message behind it. The idea that heroes can come from the most unexpected places. When people think of bikers, they often picture tough exteriors, loud engines, leather jackets, tattoos, and an intimidating presence. Society tends to judge them by appearance, not by character. But moments like this shatter stereotypes and reveal a deeper truth. Heroism is not about how someone looks, but about what they choose to do when someone is in danger. The bikers didn't know the little boy. They had no personal connection to the missing girl. They could have kept driving, pretending not to see, convincing themselves it wasn't their problem. But that's not who they are. Beneath the rough image lives a powerful sense of honor, loyalty, and compassion. Their willingness to step up without hesitation proves that true heroes don't wait for applause, cameras, or recognition. They act because it's the right thing to do. This moment becomes a reminder that bravery often comes from ordinary people. These bikers were not trained rescue forces or government officials. They were everyday men going about their lives. Yet when confronted with a child's fear, they transformed instantly into protectors, using their strength, unity, and courage to make a difference. It teaches us that heroic actions aren't reserved for comic books or Hollywood movies. Sometimes they come from the people we least expect. Their bravery sends a powerful message to the world. Never underestimate anyone based on appearance alone. Within every community, there are individuals capable of extraordinary kindness and fearless action. The bikers' response proves that heroism is defined not by titles or uniforms, but by the heart, and by the choices people make in moments that truly matter. In the end, when the little boy saw his sister safe in the arms of the officers, surrounded by a wall of bikers who stood like guardians between her and the world, he understood something he would remember for the rest of his life. Heroes aren't always the ones wearing badges, capes, or uniforms. Sometimes they are the ones society overlooks, the ones who seem rough on the outside but are gentle at heart. The bikers didn't ask for gratitude. They didn't look for praise. They didn't want a spotlight. They only wanted one thing: for that child to be safe, protected, and reunited with his family. And when their mission was complete, they simply nodded at one another, climbed back on their motorcycles, and rode away, not for glory, but because their hearts told them to help and their job was done. This story reminds us that bravery doesn't always roar. Sometimes it grows quietly in unexpected people who refuse to look away when someone is in need. It shows us that courage is not defined by size, strength, or appearance, but by action, compassion, and the willingness to do what is right even when it is hard. And so, as those engines faded into the distance, one thing became clear: the world is still full of good people. Real heroes still exist, and sometimes they ride motorcycles.